if you're gonna expect me to like vomit large amounts of money into this thing, like you do, like you're expected to do on something like Hearthstone or the other CCGs like Eternal or Test Legends, and I could like never get that money back out. Like, I like Magic, but like the reason why I'm okay spending, you know, $400 on a modern deck in paper or $300 in a modern deck online is because like those cards have monetary value in them, and I know that like I'm just tying up that money. Like at most, if I spend that $400, like I could sell that stuff back out for probably 75%. So like I've only actually spent $100 to play. Whereas like if you're gonna make me spend money on this game that you're making and I'm not able to cash any of it out, like all of that money's gone. So like what's my incentive? Why would I want to spend $200 playing your card game if one, there's no competitive play in it, so like I can't make any money back out of it, and two, I can't sell my stuff back out of it. Like that was the big thing. Like I drafted in Hearthstone a little bit, and like the gameplay was like okay, and then I was like okay, I enjoy playing Constructed by and large. Like okay, who do I give my credit card to so I can play Constructed in this game? And the answer was just like, oh, I can't. There's no one will take my credit card and give me cards. Like, oh well, you gotta just buy. You have to buy packs and then grind them down and like go through all this headache. And it's like, man, why do I want to do all this like really tedious work to like get to where I want to be, in life? I'm just gonna pass here. Do I want to ponder? Yeah, I guess pondering here is probably fine. I just get to like guaranteed use my Deathrite Shaman here. I could hit like a maybe I should have kept my second black source when I yeah, probably should have kept my second black source. I guess there's another black source up here. Do I want this land? I'm probably okay with drawing this land. I probably don't want to draw the Force of Will though. So I probably want to stack this, so I draw Verdant. Yeah, I probably want to stack it, so I draw Ponder. Yeah, drawing Ponder decks is probably ideal. So we're going to put this all the way down, and then we're going to go Verdant, Ponder, no shuffle, pass the turn. Using my Deathrite Shaman 2 encourages my opponent to use their Deathrite Shaman next turn, which is nice because that means when I draw this fetch land off the top of my deck, I can cast my Jace on their turn. Maybe I wanted to draw the Force so I can force a Force on my Jace. It's very possible that's true, because like Force is not doing a whole lot. Maybe a Leovold here, that would be kind of annoying. Looking like a Leovold. Shardless Agent. Okay, sure. Him to Tourach. We will spell pierce the crap out of that one. Yeah, forced to protect Jace might have been good. I wasn't thinking about that. Because like Jace is just such a high impact card in game ones of these matchups. Grab a Bayou. Yeah, so like if this, oh, that just resolved. Okay, so what am I doing here? Pretty unlikely that they have Maelstrom Pulse. Sometimes they play like one at most. So I think I want to just Fate Seal. I'm gonna Fate Seal them here. Yeah, I'm just gonna Fate Seal them. The choice is whether or not I want to Fate Seal them or Fate Seal B. Like, it's definitely, we're definitely not Brainstorming because we don't want it to die. Giving them a fetch land's probably fine. This is our one resource right now. Yeah, that's why I was in the tank rogue and whether or not I wanted to fate seal them or me. I agree that there's some value in like looking at the top card of our deck too. But like if this Jace is living, like filtering one card out of our thing isn't gonna be great because like we're gonna see so many cards anyway, so we could shuffle. Gross. This is a reason to have done this. I played the CCS on Saturday, and I played the Blood Wild deck, and I'm gonna be honest, I probably wouldn't have played if it wasn't a CCS. I really am not enjoying their constructed format right now. Yeah, I would have 10 out of 10 bottomed that. Alright, well now I think we're pretty obligated to do this, so I can ponder. And give them a card so we could get a card. No, Jace is a really easy card to play properly. That's why it shouldn't be in Modern. Fucking people. Liliana of the Veil. Other cards. I have to shuffle those. I think I'm actually just gonna cast Days of Doing here. Liliana doesn't do anything, it just lets them put Leovold down again next turn. Like, we still... Like, they put Leovold down, and then, like, we can't cast this, we can't cast this, we can't do anything with Jace that's meaningful. We can, like, chump block so our Jace doesn't die. Alright, have a new 7. We're gonna have to kill our Jace. And that's our 7 versus their 7. That's like the question you want to ask yourself. You're like, okay, what meaningful impact does this card have on the game? Like, what does it allow me to do that I need to do? And like, if the answer is nothing, it doesn't do anything meaningful. It's like, all right, well, why do I want to keep this card? Sure, it's a good and it's a powerful card, and we're behind, but like, this card doesn't help us catch back up. So it kind of has a lack of removal in the main deck, huh? Yeah, it really doesn't have any at all. Pretty cold. I'm out of pretzels, dude. There's no more pretzels left. Go upstairs and ask Mom if you want more pretzels. There's none in here. I have picked all of the pretzels out for your desire. There's none left. I have this Tarmogoyf here. I'm just playing this. I'm probably casting Leovold. Yeah, Tarmogoyf Twister is definitely not a combo. It's one of the reasons I considered tripping them. We just don't really have a better beater. Like, you need a way to kill combo decks. Alright, well, nobody's drawing extra cards. Put this here. Don't like hemming them as like -1 card. I guess I'll do that. Like they get to draw a card here, but then they're losing 2. Oh, they're playing. Well, that's good to know, I guess. Opponent is playing Lurin, not Shardless Bug. I guess that makes sense. Shardless Bug's a pretty rancid deck. Also, people talk about interesting interactive games. Like, this is miserable. I can't believe. Like, the Grixis Delver Mirror I actually like a lot in Legacy. This seems awful. Why would you want to play a Leovold Mirror? And add that to my list of reasons why I dislike the 4-color deck. Yeah, you have a 1/1 with Death Touch. Deal. I have another Trop in my deck, right? Yeah, I have 2 Trop, 2 Bayou, 3 C. Just want to exile these things so they can't get them back. Sure. This happens in Delver too, but this is also something that's not a lot of fun. Like, why am I? Alright, so they technically lost this Deathrite Shaman fight here because like now I get to go eat this plus eat something else. So like they're certainly behind from that exchange. I'm gonna play this out just a 1/1 Death Toucher as well to keep some of their troops at bay. Oh, Declan. Probably the most important thing here is that we're staying up on clock. Their combo is pretty time consuming, so want to make sure we don't, we stay up on clock so we can win the fair game, and then if they have to combo, they have to click through it a bunch. I'm gonna do this now. That way if they fight over it, I can do it again. Correct, yeah, like we're not drawing to anything, really. Like, I guess we have like a Jace that we can ultimate, or a Liliana that we can ultimate at some point. I mean, they're already not going to draw if we target because of the Leovold here. We do have a Pulse. Toxic Deluge is, like, not really an answer because it's going to clean the whole board. Well, that's some sick card advantage that we are not going to be able to... So... I'm going to go ahead and... I guess I get to draw a card from this, right? I would like to use this. I'm going to go ahead and cast this Notion Thief in response. And I'm fine losing this fetch land to this Brainstorm, like neither of these cards are doing anything meaningful. Opponent has a Force and a Parasitic Strix. Alright. I'm not sure I'd pitch my other combo card there. Yeah, that's their prerogative. Yeah, probably, but I also think like it's gonna take them a lot of time to do that, so I'm gonna make them click through it. Basically. Actually, I'd rather sell that one. And they're going to use both their Deathrite Shamans here. So, like, I feel like they're picking the wrong Deathrite Shaman fights, but, yeah, teach their own. Next turn, I'm going to get to go eat a troop, eat a thing. I'm going to say no, because I don't know what F8 does. I use skip next and auto pass. And again, just playing the Baleful Strix, I use that as a draw card to like put meaningful blockers in play. They can eat the last 2 instants or sorceries here if they want. Yield all if no possible. Well, I mean, if you have no possible plays, why do you need to press that card? Why don't you just press F6? It sounds like it's a redundant hotkey. If I can't do anything anyways, why do I need to press F8? That sounds stupid. That's still like tapping F6 isn't a big deal. Eat these. Also, you really don't want to use a feature like that in a format like Legacy where you have Force of Will in your deck, right? Like that sounds bad. You're giving up information that way and doing it in a format like Vintage or Legacy. Opponent's down to 4. I'm gonna continue paying 5 to cascade every turn. We're now up 2.5 minutes on clock. So yeah, you do you, opponent. And like here, like I don't have anything meaningful to do, so I'll just an auto pass. Oh baby, this Liliana the Veil. Storm count 1, ladies and gentlemen. Up, up, and away, Liliana. At some point, you will hit 6. I assume my opponent's gonna eat all the lands in the crypts here. Weird. I think you're supposed to do that and make my Tarmogoyf worse. We're now up 3 minutes on clock on my opponent. We managed to squeak this game out. That would be really good for us. They drew another Leovold. I assume that's what this means. We'll worry about that when we get there. I doubt this Liliana is actually going to ultimate. And like, honestly, this Liliana just adds another angle to our, time them out plan, because like, it just adds another layer of complexity to the game. So like, they're not going to want to let this Liliana ultimate, so they're going to be like doing things to like prevent the Liliana from ultimating. Baleful Strix, sure. It's in response. Am I gonna eat that in response? Yeah, I'll eat that in response. That's fine. This is gonna give them a chance to like pressure the Liliana, but that's fine. Yeah, when you're playing against the other aggressive decks, it's definitely slightly less interesting. Playing the McBombas deck against like control decks is a lot of fun. There's a lot of back and forth and everyone's drawing a lot of cards, which is a good time in my opinion. Yeah, I really hope they end up like axing Laskar's Vengeance. That would be ideal. The card doesn't create particularly interesting play patterns. Alright, opponent. There's your thing. You do you. I'm so sorry that you love Modern. That's your prerogative, though. You know, as you will. Alright, auto pass. Get to clicking. Mono, blue, mid-range, or control deck. That sounds strictly worse than playing something better. Well, here's an Abrupt Decay. That's actually pretty good, because now they get to bounce this Cavern Harpy, and then I get to Force of Will it. Because remember, even though they're casting it for free, they're still casting it, so I get to respond to it. Yeah, I mean, like, most of these decks are just, like, bad Grixis Delver, right? Why am I playing this deck instead of playing Grixis Delver is basically what it comes down to. Alright, what's shipping into my Liliana here? Anything? Bueller? Welcome back to Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, right, I can cast it with a Lurid. Ain't even gotta tap that mana. Welcome back. We missed you, Leo. Alright, go ahead, opponent. You need to slam into this Liliana of the Veil. Make some profitable blocks. Brainstorm. What a powerful magic card you have cast, opponent. I want to tick Liliana up. I want to put Liliana to 6, so they're forced to attack it. Wait, what? I don't... Alrighty. Target you. Yep, you could draw a card. That's fine. Deal Areno over there. Alright, let's do this one. And this one. And your Deathrite Shamans. I want to do this. I want to do this. Or actually, maybe, like, if I just do this... Yeah, I'm gonna do this. If I just get rid of these, I think I can kill them. I'm gonna do that. Some people think Brainstorm should be banned. Pretty sure it just had no text box there. Just saying. Oh no, my opponent doesn't want to play Magic anymore. Remember that time they didn't pressure my Liliana for some reason? I don't know. Don't ask me why. Alright, so what are we doing? Thoughts, Fatal Push seems decent here. Pithing Needle is good for Cavern Harpy to make sure we don't get comboed. I don't actually think we want Force in this matchup. Where's the other train at, buddy? Get the other part of your train. You don't know, you gotta find it. You gotta find it. Is Spell Pierce good enough here? I guess Pierce is pretty good against him to Tourach, right? Actually, trimming a Daze and doing is probably fine against other Leovold deck. Because, like, we get in awkward situations where, like, we can't really afford to use it. Cut Deluge? Their deck just goes so wide. Like, Deluge is one of the cards I kind of wanted to draw that game, right? Like, if I don't want Deluge in this matchup, why is this in my deck? Like, just for Delver? Yeah, Deluge seems wonderful. I mean, Deluge is a fantastic card in Legacy in general. And so Goyf gets infinitely chumped, but like it also cleans up the board, and like we're bringing in a second Toxic Deluge, Goyf's stock goes way up, right? Yeah, that's fair. Just like this card just seems bad against other Leovold deck, right? I don't want another one of these. Bring another Thoughtseize. Do this, I think. I kind of don't mind these Fatal Pushes, though, too. They kill their Leovold as well. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. It seems fine. So we can get a drop here. Go ahead and ponder for some lands. And opponent's down 5 minutes on the clock, so they took almost 15 minutes to play game 1, and now they need to win games 2 and 3 inside of 10 minutes. So that is one of the things I like about Legacy. It is grindy enough that I can... I love people sharing me their screenshots of playing Legacy Tron. It's so great. Also, speaking of, this deck's never beating Legacy Tron, so hopefully we don't queue into that. This is fine, right? They don't have a Deathrite Shaman of their own. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to draw the Shaman, actually, so that way I don't draw... I can't get this Hymn out of my hand. Someone top-8'd one of the Legacy Classics with, a Death Shadow deck. And the Tourach. The Jace and a Strix, sure. I'm just gonna go ahead and play... Gonna go ahead and play my Shyamalan here. Shamalama Ding Dong. Play my fetch land out. So we can threaten to stick a J-Stick cert if we want. We know there's a land on top of our deck, so we could wait and see what happens on their turn before we decide if we want that land or not yet. This is a little bit medium against the Liliana the Veil this turn, but like, can they afford to have Liliana the Veil in their deck's a real question. I'm gonna go ahead and crack this fetch since looks like we're untapping with this. UC. this, do this. They probably don't have Spell Pierces in their deck because they have Shardless Agent. Usually you can't play soft counters like that if you have Shardless Agent in your deck. This is getting forced or it's resolving. Or, yep, just... Right, that card is too good at Modern. You tap 4 lands, you cast your Jace, and they lose the game. I would just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for joining us here for some legacy content this morning for me. If you're enjoying what you see, please hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps other people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see and you want to support my content a little bit more past that, there's a couple different ways you do that. The first is by subscribing on Twitch, and this month is September Twitch promotion, so all first-time new subscribers get half off their subscription, and you still support me the same, so please consider doing that. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. Most of us are Magic players here, so you're probably going to do some of these things at some point anyway, so if you're going to buy Magic Online cards, do so with mtgotraders.com. They have a great selection on singles. If you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your orders. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using code Jeff5, you could save 5% on all of your orders with them. InkedGaming.com can help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you could save 12% on custom playmats and mouse pads and sleeve. You can upload your own custom artwork that you have the right to redistribute, or you can select from their wide range of great stuff that their artists on their website have produced. And finally, SpareDeck.com, they offer kind of a unique service. And for someone like me that plays mostly online, or if you're a competitive paper player who changes decks pretty often, they will rent you any physical, standard, or modern deck. So if you're not going to need the cards for very long, or you're going to change pretty often, you can rent a deck for a weekend or up to an entire month. Usually it's about 10 to 12% the cost of a deck to rent it. I used their service a lot when I was playing competitively last couple of years, and then I also used them sparingly still this year when I still play paper on occasion. It's just super convenient to not have to deal with like buy lists and sell lists and stuff like that. We only tap, that's true. We didn't only tap. Pretend this was a Noble Hierarch, right? I can play Noble Hierarch on 2 and then cast my Jace on turn 3 in Modern. Woo you, Hazen. Man, this is a great Hearthstone hand. Just get to go 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, this is Magic and we have to have lands in our hand. Nothing makes me more excited than mulliganing an unkeepable 7 into a mostly unkeepable 6. Lands in our deck. I've got 18, and then I've got 8 playable cantrips here. So I've got 26 reasonable shots at something. I'm going to keep this in. It's pretty good if we have a second land that we will top the crap out of that Brainstorm. Oh, and we're on the draw too. Yeah, this is fine on the draw. Oh, we're on the play. It's more than adequate on the draw. Okay, so for those of you that are new to Legacy, this Brainstorm means one of 2 things. Either 1, my opponent is really bad at casting Brainstorm, or 2, they're about to untap and try and kill me. Those are the two options for this Brainstorm here. And based on the lands that they've played, it feels like it's the second. I guess maybe they just like really want to hold a counterspell up here. I'm sure they're about to counterspell this, and I'm just going to eat crow, but like... okay, so Baleful Strix doesn't seem particularly good. I'm putting money on them being like a fair deck, so I'm going to put this Goyf back too. They probably have just like a bunch of plows and stuff. Although maybe I'm supposed to lead on the Goyf to bait removal so the Leovold sticks. Maybe that's true. I'm supposed to put back one of these lands. Yeah, my opponent looks to be playing a fair deck. I have no idea why they cast that Brainstorm on my end step. And again, like, you just shouldn't ponder why. It's just like, better off not knowing. Morning gun therapy. I guess fetching Trop's bad if I draw Thoughtseize. Draw Force. Alright, well. Meaning clicked here. Yeah, click resolves. Means my hymn's probably gonna resolve. It looks like miracles. So that Brainstorm is just really terrible. I guess I could take my hymn here. And then I get to play Leovold and protect it with Force of Will. Yeah, it was great. Alright, so I'm playing that. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and cast old Leo here while the shields are down. And I have a Force pitching Baleful Strix to protect him here. Take him a 3. I would like to resolve a Days of Doing as well. That sounds excellent. Wait, what? I'll flip meta here. Alright, so they're playing the Twin Stoneblade list. Oh wait, I don't have to actually flip that color specifically. Alright, that's fine. Alright, we did it, fam. Okay, so for those that are wondering how that works is my opponent only gets to draw 1 card because of Leovold. So enjoy. I forgot to attack. Subi, I was excited. Subi, look at this ponder. Look at just the desperation ponder. Just the man, all the loosest of plays here. Yes, that one resolves. What even money? This is a concession deluge. Just like the most even of money. This is a concession deluge. All right, probably don't need him or Thoughtseize. Concession deluge incoming. Oops, did I do that? Attack with this guy. Hit you for 2. I think I'd rather hold the Spell Pierce up here in case they draw Jace. Although I guess Jace doesn't do anything. So maybe I should just play the Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, probably should have just played the Deathrite Shaman. Whatever. Let me tell you about adorable things you could be doing in Legacy. These adorable things right here. Like, my opponent could probably stack both players' decks at this point in the game and still lose. Oh no! Oh no, I could have drawn a Jace and played it if I'd have sequenced better. Man, what a tilt. Just an embarrassment of riches. I appreciate our opponent's commitment to not giving up, right? Why are we still playing Magic, opponent? I don't understand. My opponent also was wondering why we were still playing Magic, and they decided they did not want to anymore. Abrupt Decay. Good against Splinter Twin, turns out. Maelstrom Pulse may or may not be good enough here. They probably have Jaces. They have True Name, so Deluge seems great. Fatal Push is probably good enough. Notion Thief and Leo is a non-bow, you're not wrong. Garruk's a little bit medium. He doesn't kill Click and he dies to True Name, so I don't know that I want him in this matchup explicitly. Spell Pierces seem fine. I don't know that grinding them with him is good enough for this matchup. Maybe Thoughtseize is a little bit better, so we want to take specific cards as opposed to random cards. Fatal Push is probably pretty good if we expect it to be on the Stoneforge Mystic plan. Do I want all these Force of Wills is a real question. Probably not. I'd rather have some of this. I was thinking Tarmogoyf doesn't seem stellar. I need some ways to win the game, though. Let's try this. Maybe this Pulse. I'm gonna bring another. We see Jaces and stuff out of that. Maybe I'll bring in the other Pulse. That is correct. No, you don't really in general want to use surgical extraction in that way. You want to like only do it when it's like super meaningful or like they're all in a combo deck. Like the opponent has a very reasonable like backup game plan. Notion Thief's not a trigger, it's a replacement effect, but the replacement effect just doesn't do anything. You replace it with a draw that can't happen. Speaking of Notion Thieves, Deathrite Shaman, kind of looking for like Deathrite or Thoughtseize here. So I found the Thoughtseize, but I kind of want to guarantee we hit another land. But I guess if I get to Thoughtseize into Leovold, that's probably fine. And this Brainstorm to dig deeper afterwards. It's probably a Stoneforge Mystic. This is a basic Plains. They certainly have Blood Moon in their deck right now. Yeah, so it's a bit to think about. It's a reason to leave the Maelstrom Pulse in. Look at the spot check for it this turn at least. It's a reason to leave some forces in too, probably. What you got over here? Batter Skull. We're gonna get Exarched during the upkeep here. Probably need to Brainstorm in response. Well, I guess I could just let it happen and like draw another card. I think I'd rather just let this happen. This is the twin Stoneforge Mystic hybrid that we're playing against. We knew the Jace was on top of our decks, like we just want the highest chance to like get to a land, basically. Probably gonna see a Brainstorm here if they don't have Splinter Twin in hand. They just played the basic mountain, okay. They have Brainstorm, Plow, and then two cards we don't know currently. Hit a Jace? No, they hit a Lavamancer, sure. Liliana's okay. Brainstorm, good for a fetch land. That's pretty rancid. Huh. Guess I'm gonna go back. Guess this Tarmogoyf. Number lower variance without blue cantrips does not mean no variance. All right, there goes that plow. Again with the end step brainstorms. Gosh, we're gonna lose this match too. I'll slide out of my chair. I'm just gonna be wondering how it happened. Is something for 5 beta? No, just fetch it down. Clear 1 card away from the brainstorm. I'm gonna try Brainstorm again here. We have 2 shots at a land. We know Leovold's on top of our deck. All right, sweet. We hit the fetch this time around. What am I doing here? Probably. Do I want a 5th land? I probably am okay with drawing a 5th land here, right? I think I don't want this. I don't want this. Now, Pulse to kill this is probably pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna ditch this 5th land for now. A lot of shots at getting more lands out here. We have a Force of Will, actual factual counterspell, sure. Oh, I should have ditched the Notion Thief, right? That's what should have happened. They have a Grim Lavamancer here. So if people ask me why I didn't do that, it's because I wasn't thinking about it. So the reason why Brainstorm is a powerful card in Legacy is because it can take 2 cards that aren't good in your hand and you could shuffle them away when you have a fetch land. So basically you want to like put back 2 cards that aren't helping you and then crack a fetch land to get rid of them. So like basically you've gotten 3 new good cards, because technically Brainstorm only draws you 1 card because like you're drawing 3 but then you're putting 2 back. But if you're putting back 2 cards that aren't meaningful anyways, you're ending up in that exchange. Do I want to just play this Leovold out here, or do I want to try and Maelstrom Pulse this? Kind of feel like I want to Maelstrom Pulse this just to like get rid of the Splinter Twin you out. Click, sure. I assume they're leaving all of these cards here. Like none of these cards are pretty meaningful at winning the game. Took days on doing. Okay, sure. And they didn't hit us for 2. That's good for us. What's your name? Sure. So we need to draw one of our 2 deluges here. It's not one of our 2 deluges, so we are dead. Yeah. Yeah. Seeing actual factual counterspell makes me think the Thoughtseize is great. I don't think I wanted the rest. I think I'm happy with how we sideboarded here. Go ahead and submit. I guess Liliana feels a little bit medium. Maybe Notion Thief is... Yeah, I'm actually going to do this. This is marginally... Notion Thief's pretty bad against Grim Lavamancer. This is good against their, like, mediocre backup beatdown plan. I don't think I want him. Like, what? Like, maybe him is better than Liliana? Maybe, but, like, Liliana at least edicts, edicts, what's its name? Go Deathrite Go here, I think. Gets plowed, feels a little bit bad, but that's still probably fine. All right, well that. I'm just gonna stick Leo now, I think. Black. Green. Brainstorm every time, just all of the mono end step brainstorms here from the opponent. I mean, kinda. I guess if you don't already have an answer, it makes sense. It's possible I'm supposed to like spot check. I'm supposed to spot check for Pyroblast and Thoughtseizes before I let that happen, just so like Leo could have a chance to live. Man, we'd have hit the perfects too. Okay, what do you got over here? It has the Blood Moon that we were talking about. A couple of things here. What am I interested in doing? So the Blood Moon is just like bad news bears all around. So the question is, what am I getting with the second Thoughtseize? Probably the true name. I want to brainstorm first. I feel like I want to brainstorm first. Yeah, because like Deluge changes some things, I guess. Put back this, put back this. Do this, cast the Thoughtseize. I think I'm just gonna take this Deceiver Exarch away from them here. Takes away some of their flexibility. They have Volk, True Name. Grim Lava Man. These Deathrite Shamans who just go to town on their crypt here. Yep. So there's a Daze Undoing on top of my deck right now. Just gonna eat these. That's the turn here. I don't really want to brainstorm into getting locked again, so let's see a couple more cards here. Their hand is True Name plus Island right now, and then one other card. I don't know. My opponent keeps casting Brainstorms during at suspect spots too, so like. Wasteland, Abrupt Decay. Wasteland doesn't seem particularly exciting. I already explained why end-step brainstorms are bad. I already did that. This is actually fine. Let's talk about a great example here. So basically, when this turn started, I had these three cards plus this brainstorm, right? So this brainstorm, instead of turning into +1 card, is basically turning into +3 cards because like I don't really need this Wasteland, so I get to put that back, and then with this fetch land, I get to shuffle it away. And then if I put this Maelstrom Pulse back, like, so I only have, like, maybe the Days Undoing isn't good enough. Basically, with Brainstorm, Brainstorm is a powerful card because you get to put 2 cards back and then not redraw them. When you keep end-step brainstorming and not being able to shuffle them, if you're not trying to untap and kill your opponent because you're looking for one explicit card that you need to dig 3 cards deep for to find, because you're under some amount of pressure, he's prioritizing mana efficiency over card advantage, correct. And like and then they went and did something like playing this Grim Lava Mancer instead of the True Nemesis, so they were just like completely mana inefficient. Days Undoing is a shuffle effect. You are not wrong. Days Undoing is technically a shuffle effect. I could put this back, Wasteland them, and then cast Days Undoing. Is that awful? It might be awful, but it's kind of funny. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I mean, our hand's not really doing anything either, though. Is the thing. I'm gonna get Blood Mooned here and just be really sad. Oh no, they're just killer right after a Shaman, sure. Yep. That's because it's foil. They put a Thoughtseize in the sure. Brainstorm. Leovold. I'm putting this back. I'm putting this back. Take a peekaboo. What's going on up here? I mean, you can't know what your sequencing is without Thoughtseizing first. It was like, now I want to play 2 Thoughtseizes, right? No one really knows anything, is the actual answer. Rid of Jace. They have plenty of red sources in their hand, so like wasting them is not good. And Thoughtseize gives us the information to know that wastelanding them isn't good. Fatal Push is like okay here. Shuffle, I think. It's possible I should have shuffled first there, right? Because I knew the top cards in my deck. Take their Stoneforge away. I don't know what you mean by MTGO, Lee and Co. and Gutters. This is it. If you want to make Magic content and play Magic on the computer, this is what you need to play. I have no idea. All right, we're done. Sometimes you lose the match. The Time Twister was suspect that we played for sure. I don't know, some random shithead in the Magic community. The Magic community is full of people like that are just like obnoxious and get their rocks off on being turds in Twitch chats. And like, people are so used to like, so many of the people that stream Magic just like put up with such endless amounts of bullshit in their Twitch chats because they're so desperate for people to watch them. It's like, nah, I don't need you here. Get out of here. It's fine. Not exciting, but fine. Squid daddies, huh? This is probably going to be hard for us. I think I'm just supposed to Wasteland them on one here. This is one of the matchups. Being on the draw in a matchup like this is usually pretty tough. I don't know. I guess they feel like it takes a lot of effort for me to ban them. So, like, that's why they want to spend their time doing it. But, like, it really doesn't take much effort for me to ban somebody. It's just, like, 2 clicks. It's a tough life. Which member? That member right there. I mean, it's not even about being phased by assholes. Just like by allowing those people to exist in your chat, you're saying, I'm okay with the things you're doing. And the example you're setting in our community is something that I want to exist. If indifference to a problem is the same as being accepting of the problem. It's the same thing. If you're just like, yeah, whatever, I can leave that. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hinder me. It's just like, you're contributing to the problem if you're not doing the little things that you can do to make the problem be better. Just gonna be like second soul land, or just firing up the factory, sure. We're basically just dead. Did you? Griffithson with the 3-month resubscription. Thank you for the continued support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. A quarter of a year. Sorry, you did catch me mid-rant there. There's like, well, we had chances, and now well, one is not none, I suppose. We'd be in a really good spot if this hadn't happened. Oh, right. Caracas means we're dead. Okay, so good lesson for my opponent that doesn't understand how their legacy cards work. You may put that card onto the battlefield. So, City of Traders says when you play another land, putting the Caracas into play off the Matter Reshaper doesn't count as playing a land. So if you put Matter Reshaper this into play, they wouldn't have sacrificed their City of Traders. This is just a Sultai deck. This is a donation deck list featuring Daza Doig and Leovold and Notion Thief. Man, you know what my favorite part is? My favorite part is when they're a salty little wanker and they start sending me private messages after I've banned them in chat, because it's only 2 more clicks to add them to my ignore list as well. It's tough. It really is kind of tough, you know? I had to like click 2 more things and add them to another list of obnoxious Magic players. All right, so Thoughtseize isn't particularly good. Him's okay. Force is great. Spell Pierce is like, it counters Chalice when we're on the play. Notion Thief isn't good. The Judgeinator, really appreciate the time and effort you put into streaming. Thank you for introducing me to Hex and making great legacy content. Thank you very much for the donation, Judgeinator. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you're enjoying Hex, and legacy is gas, so... Yeah, like those people, they're just like looking, they're time vampires, I like to call them. They're just like looking to leech time out of you by like continuing to get you to interact with them. And like, you don't need to get the last word in with people like that, because you're never going to have the last word, because they don't have a life and you can't kill that which has no life. They're a vampire. So you need to just ignore them and move on with the things that you need to be doing with your time. Like, their life is very sad, and the best thing they could be doing with their time instead of contributing something to some community is like harassing random people they've never met on the internet. So, you know, just like be the bigger person, hit the block button. When you let the troll drag you down to their level, they're going to beat you up with experience every time. Anywho, back to sideboarding here. Leovold is okay. I don't know that Days Undoing is good enough. Like, they're not a deck that has cards in their hand. Yeah, I guess Garruk, like, makes blockers and, like, eats some of their little poopers. We have two more cuts to make here. I could see him to Tourach being too slow. Like, play more cards that play to the board, basically. I don't hate this. I think I like that. Yeah, let's give this a try. It's fine. It's like not exciting, but like it's definitely on the fine side. I think I'm gonna keep it. I've got a push for interaction. I've got a Wasteland to slow them down a little bit. I've got a Jace to like hopefully take over the game once we interact with them a touch. This card kills Thought Seer. The last line of text kills Thought Seer. I would not board this in if it didn't kill Thought Seer. I agree. This card kills Thought Seer. Just so everything's above the board and people understand what's going on. This card kills Thought Seer. Yeah, of course for that fetch you got Turbo. We're gonna cast Tropical. We're gonna play Tropical Island and cast Ponder. Does Big Red get better or worse with the Magus Blood Bouchage? I think it's basically the same. I was muted there for half a second, sorry. I don't think it changes anything meaningful. Yeah, it doesn't, basically just doesn't matter. It's a bigger impact in Modern where people play like shock lands and creature lands that come into play tapped and stuff. All right. Missed a sub. Stu with the 14-month 3 subscription. Thank you for the continued support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Go ahead and suggest our opponent get wasted here. Maelstrom Pulse, a him to Tourach. Man, this Tropical Island is kind of a beating. This Maelstrom Pulse is like D's plus though. Do I have any plans for Standard after rotation? None specific yet. I really don't look at Standard until we have a full spoiler. I'm gonna bury the Maelstrom Pulse the deepest so it doesn't get Thoughtseize. Dark Depths is banned in Modern. Hello, youngest son. How are you doing? No, it would enter with no counters, but it also wouldn't be sacked because it'd be a mountain. So that's the... It also would enter untapped. So, like... You know, I guess there's marginal upside there. So it would... Leovold! Leovold's a Modern open, right? You want to pick the candy pieces out of here? Alright, go ahead. Pick the candy pieces out of the trail mix. I think MTG Arena will do the same thing MTG Duels did to Magic Online, which is nothing. The way they've pitched MTG Arena so far is that it's just going to be another pump and dump, like... Oh. I should have played this so I could fetch push this. I guess I get to Maelstrom Pulse it next turn. It'll just be another duels, and like, they're going to tell you that Magic Arena is going to be around for a while, but they told us in 2015 Magic Duels was going to be around for a while, and you should feel confident investing in that. Wait, what did they take? They took the Hymn to Tourach out of my hand? Alright. Sure, I guess. Guess this for 4. Kind of expecting them to take the Deluge. I guess they just have more Thoughtseize. They have an endless one going into their hand here. Well, yeah, that was an okay draw. Probably getting Smasher. They have double Smasher. We're just dead, right? Yeah, just gonna like curve their Smashers all the way out here. You ready to be smushed, Declan? Smusher time! Smusher time! Get smushed! Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Kitchen things! 18 months! A year and a half! That's so long! Welcome back! Thank you for the continued support! Alright, my body is ready to die to a Smasher. You're very loud, child. Yes, I know. You can say daddy and mom. Get a little Declan camera going on in our life. Mom went to work, dude. You're stuck with me. You're stuck. Yep. All you get is dad. Just the slowest of rolls. Sure. I thought he was saying die, mom, and got concerned. Oh. It's just another pump and dump CCG. They figure they ran out of money. Hey! Mattman! With the 16-month resubscription! Thank you for the continued support. Yeah, MTG Arena is a full Magic rules engine. Full magical rules engine Arena. Why is the new Pithing Needle is just worse than regular Pithing Needle, right? Stop screaming, you're very loud. Ah! But like in terms of a model and what it means is like it's basically the same as what duels was. Seems really good in a fair matchup, and I guess I have Brainstorm and Ponder to look for cards if they're an unfair matchup. Unmask. All right, not fair. So this is like a black Force of Will. They get to pitch a black card in order to strip a card out of our hand. And we're dead. Sometimes you just die. So my takeaway from playing this deck is feels very, so far from 2 matches with it, 3 matches, this is our 4th match, feels very similar. They did pitch a Dark Petition, so they could be some kind of wacky Storm deck. Feels very similar to my takeaway from like playing the 4-color Leovold deck, and like these Leovold decks really just feel like bad Delver decks. Like this deck is doing very similar things to like what Delver does in terms of like the macro game plan, like overall what your plan is to actually try and win a game of Magic. Some of the details in between, I'm like, how you're winning that game of Magic and how you're disrupting your opponent are different, but you don't get the free wins that you get with Delver for just running people over, which feels bad. I basically have to shuffle this because it's not a Force of Will, right? I guess I could take this Hymn to Tourach and hope they don't have... I'm just going to shuffle for a Force. I could take the Hymn to Tourach hoping they don't have it next turn, but... Polluted Delta is basically Force of Will. Don't spoil. Yeah, I've read this book before. So Reanimate's gonna put Gristlebrand into play, and then we are not winning a game of Magic from there. Surgical Extraction sounds great. Thoughtseize sounds great. Grafdigger's Cage sounds great. Deluge does not sound great. Hymn to Tourach is not good against the Reanimator deck. Notion Thief doesn't seem great. Maelstrom Pulse seems medium. Days Undoing can actually like clear away stuff out of their discard pile, which seems funny. I think I'm gonna leave that in. I don't know that I actually want to cut Lily. Some of the time they reanimate something and they like can't draw with the Gristlebrand. You could just edict it away, or they reanimate something like Chancellor of the Void and you could like cast it. Yeah, Pithing Needle's okay. Pithing Needle is good with the Liliana the Veil plan, because we can like needle Gristlebrand and then edict it away so we don't just die to it. I guess I don't hate that. Yeah, Needle's fine. Bringing a Needle a matchup like this is fine. think this is fine. This might not be keepable in this matchup post-board when I have Surgicals to mulligan too as well, but like, they have discard spells, so like, they could just take away a Surgical if we mulligan to it anyway, so I think I'd like being proactive with Thoughtseize, and then we have 2 cantrips to like find more disruption past that. Deathrite Shaman's fine. Yeah, hennies? Welcome to the 1-2 bracket in the Legacy Leagues, ladies and gentlemen. Really just the thing that dreams are made of. This is welcome to the Legacy 1-2 bracket, where anything is possible. Reach for the stars, ladies and gerbs. Reach for the stars. Oh god, that's great. All right, here's my biggest thing. Here's my biggest gripe about the whole Magic Arena thing, are the people that don't understand that, like, the way Magic Online does stuff isn't the only possible way that things can be done. So I keep hearing things like, what's a good example? I keep hearing things like, I don't like trading on Magic Online because it makes everything too expensive. No, having trading on Magic Online doesn't make singles expensive. What makes singles expensive in a TCG, whether it's digital or paper, is Wizards of the Coast not reprinting enough of those important staples. So the fact that trading exists isn't the reason that this card is $70 on Magic Online. The reason why this card is $70 on Magic Online is because WotC doesn't put enough of them in supplemental product for people to actually have enough copies for them to get the ones that they want to be playing with. That's the actual factual truth. Cast a little Brainstorm Marooney here. I really don't want the second Deathrite Shaman because we know they have they have a whatchamahoos that's in their hand, right? This Yehenni's expertise. And like, I've heard multiple people that were people that I felt were like very reasonable individuals, like just like spewing nonsense about like how this works and why things are what they are. And it's like, that's not how supply and demand works. The reason why these cards are expensive is because WotC doesn't want you to have them. They don't want a bunch of people playing Legacy because, well, if there's a bunch of people Legacy, then they're not playing Standard because Legacy's more fun than Standard most of the time. Correct. Yes. So, like, people point to the reserve list why Legacy is expensive in paper, and that's definitely true. The fact that they honor the reserve list keeps Legacy artificially expensive in paper. What keeps Legacy expensive on Magic Online, though, is that they don't want to reprint the cards that people need to play the format. Force is a decent draw. All right, here's an interesting question. With this Cage in play, do I just, like, start pushing this Liliana up? Oh, and I think with the Force, that means I want to wait, right? But, like, it's being printed in sets with small print runs. It's being printed in sets that have a $10 MSRP per booster pack. Like, that's not putting a lot of copies into the market. And, like, Magic keeps growing as a game. So, like, sure, the supply is going up, but if the supply goes up proportional to the demand, that means the cost just stays the same. I'm gonna cast this Liliana. I feel like I want to just get the Liliana going. I'll just get the Liliana going. This deck list actually isn't posted below the stream because I'm lazy. And watch this get bigger, and I should have done this pre-combat. Would Delver be better than Goyf? Maybe. That's actually a reasonable question, JMP. I don't think I want this Thoughtseize, but I'll draw the Verdant Catacombs, shuffle, no, play this land, pass the turn. Wouldn't mind Thoughtseizing away this Grave Titan before it gobbles up my board. But like the other thing too is, believe it or not, and I know this is going to be a wild thing. Some people are going to be floored by this. It doesn't cost more money for them to print master sets. So even though they charge you $10 per booster pack, it doesn't cost them that much more money to make the set, which is strange. I know it's kind of wild that they can print any amount of cards for the same amount, and it's all profit that they charge extra money for it. But it's like, so like they could make those master sets cost $3. They could make them cost $5. They could make them cost any amount of money they want, and then more people would be able to buy them. So again, just like they don't want the supply to be there because they want you to play standard, which, you know, I understand, I guess. Actually, if anything, if you felt the card stock that the master sets are printed on, the master sets probably cost them less to print because the quality is just like complete and total dog shit. The first time I held a Modern Masters 2 Noble Hierarch in my hand, I thought it was fake. I had to like do a double check that like I should have shuffled there because I knew the Spell Pierce was on top of my deck. I had to do a double check to make sure that I had a real magic card in my hand. Like genuinely was uncertain that this was a legitimate magic card and not a fake reprint. And not some kind of Chinese ripoff. Alrighty. Alright, they're dead in 2 if they don't get to get this Grave Titan into play. Alright, here's an actual question. I'm supposed to ult this Liliana as a Stone Rain, right? Or can they not actually, if I just plus this, they can't do anything? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to plus this, actually. Because, like, the Grave Titan's the card we're worried about, right? But they don't have anything that makes plus... Oh, that legendary land might make enough mana for them to play the Grave Titan next turn, right? I mean, like, they're dead on board is the thing. You have to get blown out by a Black Lotus. This is the 1-2 bracket in a Legacy event. I think I want these Deluges in my deck. These Maelstrom Pulses also seem great because they've just got, like, all of these Planeswalkers. I'm gonna cut these Lilianas and bring in Maelstrom Pulses. The problem, Bob, is it gives them a free discard outlet for their troops. Can confirm, we are currently playing Yu-Gi-Oh! 10 out of 10 currently playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Them Maelstrom Pulses. This frame. What intern pitched this frame to them? And then which executive signed off on it? Because this is not a real thing. And at least I can read the title on this card in this format, right? On Magic Online, I could read the title. I have to keep in paper. I have to look at the text box of those cards to, like, figure out which one it is, because I usually can't read the actual name on it. The new Full Art lands are beautiful, and they're the background on my cell phone currently. Oh, now all these notifications are popping up. I wanted to show you my pretty cell phone background. Isn't that forest make a beautiful background? What ones you got? I got all of them on here. Oh yeah, look at the swamp. The swamp's a beautiful background as well. Very, very pretty. What launcher do I use? This is the Nokia Z launcher. It's fantastic. I love this thing. I do some tech writing on this side too. I love this launcher. It learns which applications you use at which time of day and then auto-populates for you. Alright. So I think I want to do what we always do against Storm, and I'm just going to force this ritual here. So you force the ritual because a lot of the time when you don't force the ritual, your opponent's going to go Duress, Entomb, Reanimate, and then you're going to die. Whereas, like, my opponent's deck is very light on mana. So forcing that might mean they just can't do anything. Grizzly Bees here. Might also be right to just hold this because of all the Planeswalkers they had in their deck. Sacrifice a swamp. Okay. Sacrifice a swamp, make 4 black mana. Sure. Alright, we've got lands and we've got a Jace. We have a plan. Alright, so they've got 4 mana here between these two. Yep. You've got a Baleful Strix. Oh, it is 5. You're right. That is how Lake of the Dead works. Cantrip your reanimate, the value. I mean, like, cantrip my reanimate's great. Like, they're not playing the good colors, so they don't have actual cantrips in their deck. Man, I liked my Jace. Literally played Vintage on Sunday and played Vintage twice more before that. Oh no, what do you have for 4 mana? Oh no. Something with an X in its casting cost or a delve spell? That's a delve spell. Okay, yep. I have no idea. I'm glad there's 2 Maelstrom Pulses in my deck right now, I guess. We're dead in 3. Technically dead in 4, but like, if we can't use these fetch lands, we're dead, so dead in 3. I guess I'm gonna play this because they have Tourach. One more draw step here. Sunday night was why not to play rogue decks. Sunday night was why not to build new decks in a format that you don't understand. I'm gonna crack 2 deltas at end of turn because I might as well thin because we have like exactly 2 cards that we want to draw. Alright. Good stuff. Leovold's Undoing. That's a great name for this deck. Leovold's Undoing. That's far more clever than Leovold's Day. Well, I mean, to be fair, their deck is full of card selection like Baleful Strix. Oh wait. Magic. We're into 5 here. If we hit the pulse, we get like 3 more turns to deal with the Baleful Strix. So you're saying there's a chance. Oh, Baleful Strix is really good too. Forgot about that. No. We're gonna, as we get beat down by our own Baleful Strix here. Oh, right. We could draw Baleful Strix. Oh, magic. Yeah, we don't want to draw Surgical Extraction, so we're going to fetch to clear those away first. I'd love to draw another land, though, because that's what's going to get. Yeah! Magic! Magic! The Gathering! They're going to draw Collective Brutality and kill us, and I'm going to slide out of my chair. Had it. Never didn't have it. So unlucky they didn't draw the perfect card. Alright, well. I'm actually really not in love with Hex's constructed format right now. Getting Lasgard's Vengeance is not terribly exciting. Oh, baby, a triple. Ooh, baby, a triple. This is my Baleful Strix. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Like, Hex's constructed format is fine. There's a variety of decks you can play. I've just played with them for a while, and like, I don't enjoy the play patterns that Lasgard's Vengeance creates. Make sure you lock that door. Yep. Yeah, actually. We have something to pick it with, right? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I don't need to get in there either. Like a Baleful Strix is great. I can go upstairs. Ponder. Huh. I think I want to fetch and ponder now. This is actually pretty close. We have an underground sea that I can get, but like, okay. To fetch your actually, if we fetch, we're dead to Collective Brutality, which is actually real. It's actually real. So someone just mentioned the Force Throw thing. I actually saw just Caleb Durward tweeted a quote from it. Like, paper tournaments are miserable. Like, the best part about playing digital things is that like you don't have to worry about bullshit like that. You should read about my experience having played paper Pokemon to know how miserable paper TCGs could be. Start with this. Think I want any of these cards? Maybe I'm supposed to take the Pierce. Honestly, maybe the extractions aren't terrible just because, like, they do have this Tombstalker hanging out in their bin. They do have this Tombstalker. Now we're dead, right? I guess I could hit, get a Maelstrom Pulse here. We have 2 of those. I don't think that's strictly true, Rolf. Never once have I stubbed my toe on Magic Online. Yeah, exactly. And we're dead. Why? Why? Oh, the very next card. The very next card! Alright. Big ol'